times when I'm on here?
No.
Okay.
So we're live. We are officially live. Hi, Chris. I'm so grateful that you've taken some time out. I know that you're, what is it, at a trade show or at a business? You're doing something.
We're at a trade show for doctors, Integrative Health Wellness Seminar.
Wow. Well, that's where I like to know that you guys are, because they're the people that can really help change the narrative around CBD.
Absolutely. We're talking to lots of good doctors that are really excited about how much CBD education and how much it's available out there now.
Wow. Well, that's great. Well, before we get into all our exciting stuff and to help people have a few minutes to get on, I just want to go over just some of the things that we have to say before we chat, and that everything that the brand of Paleo Boss Lady brings to the community is based on my experience with consciousness. And I just want to make sure that people know that none of this is meant to treat or diagnose or to tell you what to do. It's to give you insight. And I hope that you continue to work in harmony with your healthcare team and make decisions that are best for you. And that this series is really to give you insight and to give you the tools to feel self-empowered regarding CBD, because I feel like a lot of you, well, not feel like, the number of questions, I went from maybe a handful a month to several a day in the last year. So I know that this is a hot topic with my followers, and Elixinol, and you guys have all done a great job. We started with Dr. Blair. We had Arthur with us yesterday, and they brought you in for the finish. And I'm excited about that. And I think the first thing I'd really like is if you could just share with us, your story, because, I have to tell you that, I met with or had a conversation with Tara, who works with you guys, and she didn't want to tell me much. She said, have Chris tell you his story. So if you could share with our audience a little bit about you, I'd appreciate that.
Sure. Well, I came into the hemp and CBD world through a friend of mine who was producing a movie called The Science of Weed. And that movie really challenged the perception of how we accept things. Because I was a true believer in Nancy Reagan saying just say no to hemp and marijuana and all that stuff. And once I watched the movie, I could no longer reconcile that and logically say that hemp and CBD was the same as any other marijuana product or something that shouldn't be used. And so I started getting into the hemp CBD world through helping him market that video, and then joined Elixinol a little over 2.5 years ago, and have just loved the difference it's made in my life, my family's life, and so many people that I work with.
So do you personally use CBD daily?
I use CBD every day. I use capsules and liposomes.
Okay. And what is it that you use? Is it a specific thing that you use CBD for, or?
No, for me, it's general health and wellness, because I understand that most of my life, I have genetics, and I've had bad health habits. So I'm hoping to do a lot of preventative maintenance and really fight off those things that are going to come on later in life. I'm 49 years old. My mom's had 3 heart attacks. My dad's had all sorts of health issues. So I want to live a longer, healthier life. So my grandma lived to 80. My mom's supposed to live to 90, and I'm going to live to 100. So I'm
in the 100 team. Sign me up for that.
There you go.
Yeah, and so a lot of people say to me all the time, I can't use CBD because I'm going to get high. What do you say to people when they say that?
Well, there's two answers to that. First is there's no THC in our product, so that's the chemical compound that gets you high. So overall, the belief that that's going to happen is wrong. Second is your system, because it's been starved of cannabinoids its whole life, the first time you take CBDs, your body's going to interpret that as a euphoric effect. It's like drinking water when you've been starved for a long time. So you will feel really good, and sometimes people's body interprets that as high the first time, but it's really not. It's just that now your body just feels so good. You've probably never felt normal in your life. And now that your body's starting to fine tune and feed the endocannabinoid system, you're going to have that euphoric effect, and it's going to be it's going to feel really nice.
So, one of the things that has become sort of my new hot button, and I'm almost embarrassed to keep admitting this out loud, but, I'm like little Miss Conscious here, but I never really gave much thought to, sure, I'm buying products that, are organic or, sustainably, sourced and things like that. But I'm not really paying attention to the effect that the ingredients and things have on the environment. And I know that hemp actually is like a restorative crop.
It is not,
right?
It is restorative. Hemp cleans the soil where it's at, very much like people grow peanuts to, restore a crop after you've, done something like cotton or something that eats so much of the nutrients in it. Hemp actually restores it. And you grow hemp, and they grow hemp in lots of different places to help rejuvenate the land, refill the land, to re-oxygenate and add nitrogen back into the soil. But it's also something that people use in different areas to pull out toxins. So that's why it's good for the earth that way, but it's also very important that you know that your hemp and your products that you're getting aren't coming from those fields that are used to clean up toxic areas. So that's why it's very important that you check the sources and you work with a company like Elixinol that gives you the certificates of analysis of the products where we grow ours.
Which is so important. I just came back from a influencer trade show for green influencers, and we learned about supplements and the sourcing of where the products come from and the testing. And I came home and I looked at all the things that I'm paying a premium price for and realized none of it has all that information. And it's so great that you guys not only offer all that information and transparency, but you also offer something that I don't believe anybody else does at Elixinol, which is you have a doctor that people can talk to. Is that right?
Yeah, so Elixinol has a doctor on staff, Dr. Blair, who you have already got to meet with. Luckily, he's an amazing man and really passionate about how CBD and hemp's going to, change so many people's lives. And it's just great to see how many people are drawn to him because of his genuine care for and concern and love for helping people. And we love to be able to have that differentiating and that factor for other people to be able to watch his videos and see him online and access him through shows like yours and just somebody that's got family medical training and military training that has he's just such a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, no, it's truly amazing. Now, let's say someone's going to the Elixinol site for the first time. Okay, they just watched, our 3 Facebook Lives, and they're going to the site and they're looking at, the products. How would you recommend they sort of begin their journey into using CBD and purchasing?
So CBD is pretty simple to start with. We've got all the products available on our website. It's really which delivery system you think you're going to take the most of. We have really clear delivery systems, serving sizes of 15 milligrams, once in the morning, once in the evening. And as you take that, you'll feel the effects within 24 hours of it at the very latest. CBD gets into your system and actually processes out every 6 to 12 hours. So you need to take it twice a day. And if you're not feeling the effects, then just double the serving size in the morning, and then again you could double it at night until you start to feel the effects. But most everybody with 30 milligrams a day is an excellent place to start.
And is the recommendation of delivery system based on personal preference, or
it's completely personal preference for most people, because we offer our capsules because those are just easy. And people are used to using that as a supplement and adding to their system. For people that need more immediate effects, we have our liposome, which is a CBD encased in a lipid, and it is more bioavailable and absorbs into your body a lot quicker. Then we have our topicals that you could just put right onto any affected area and start to feel the effects that way. Go ahead.
They're amazing. Topicals are amazing.
Thank you. We got our CBD hemp balm is really picked up picked up a lot of traction in the health and wellness world for those guys that are working out, for the guys that are feeling the inflammation, and really just can use that as kind of a 1-2 punch to your daily supplement.
I know my daughter's boyfriend he's a professional musician and plays bass. And he also golfs a couple times a week. So he's constantly using his hands. And he's been having great success with the inflammation using the balm. Yeah. So just awesome. Not to mention.
What's even a great, a little bit insight into the balm, not only is the CBD itself so amazing, but there's another 27 other ingredients in there that are by themselves all great for topical application, and plus the CBD. So it's really a huge value. The ingredients alone you'd find in spa level topicals for $60, $70 type things, and this is only a $30 topical, so it's really nice.
Wow. Now, someone is asking, is it good for arthritis? I mean, any arthritis is inflammation.
Yeah, and that's the thing is definitely work with your physician and your medical practitioner to figure out what works best for you. But most things, including arthritis, stem from inflammation in your body, and hemp CBD is one of the world's best anti-inflammatories. So I would recommend starting with it for sure.
Yeah, I've noticed huge for the woman that's asking, Debbie. I've been doing it in the morning and in the evening, and I have a lot of neck issues due to MS, and I've noticed huge changes, large changes. So, if I were you, I'd give it a try, and again, talk to your healthcare team. Now, if people reach out to the Dr. Blair, do they schedule a time? Like, how does that work? How do they get to speak to him?
So Dr. Blair, the best thing is to come to our website and talk to our customer service team. They'll be able to answer most questions for you. And if they seem that it's necessary for you to schedule a time with Dr. Blair, they'll be able to set them up for you.
So when someone asks you, what is the number one thing that you want people to know about CBD? The most, sum it up in 5 words. Like, what would you like for people to walk away from this 3-day event that we've had, sharing all this information, to walk away and truly understand?
That CBD feeds the endocannabinoid system, and that fine tunes everything else in your body. So if you want your system to operate optimally, you need CBD.
One of the things, and I have to say, I think that's probably the most important thing that I personally have learned. I follow Dr. Wall's protocol for eating, and that works at the cellular level. And that's really the only sort of protocol that's based on the cellular level. And if there's one thing I've learned about CBD in these last 3 days, is that it all is happening at the cellular level with the endocannabinoid system, and that is where the magic happens for sure.
Yep, it connects to your muscular system, your circulatory system, or your respiratory system, your nervous system. Every system is going to be fine-tuned and work better for you when you have a significant amount of CBD in your body. Right.
And it's funny because when I was first, I had tried all different types of foods, and I had tried all different types of CBDs. And it wasn't until the Wall's protocol, which was a cellular level, protocol, and also really focused on decreasing inflammation. And, that's what brought me to Elixinol. Was I had tried many CBDs, none of them had worked. And your product was the first product that helped me and made me reach out to Arthur and be like, excuse me, why is it? And then that's when I learned a lot about the actual process of making is a big part of this. Can you talk just a little bit about why your product, did have such a therapeutic effect on me when other ones didn't?
Well, there's several parts of the process, and the main thing that you can always know that we stand behind is quality and consistency. And that starts from day one of how you grow it and where you grow it and where you source it from, right? So, some manufacturers just buy the, whatever CBD they can find on the market, and we're very consistent in building relationships with our farms and our farmers and our growers so that we keep consistent results and have the same genetic profiles going forward on a regular basis. Then it's a quality and consistency to our process. How we get the CBD, and it's been a tested, proven process that we've developed over several years, and that consistency produces the highest quality of CBD overall. Then from there, it's the testing, and we test it when we get it, we test it when we produce it, and we test it when we manufacture it. So all of those things overall produce a high quality product that you're going to get same consistent results.
Awesome. And that's and also Arthur did talk quite a bit about the distillation process plays a big role in that as well.
Correct. And that's where we produce it. And that's, I kind of summarized it instead of getting too scientific about it. But yes, our distillation process with CO2 extraction is a very clean way to get CBD.
Now, there is no consulting fee to talk to Dr. Blair, right?
Correct.
Right.
No consulting fee.
And we also have another question. This is kind of weird, but which is more popular, the taste, the citrus or the cinnamon?
So most popular, because it was the first to market, is our cinnamon. But catching up quickly is our citrus, the liposome, because it's a lot more efficient and more bioavailable, and it tastes great, and it's water soluble.
There you go. That's an interesting question. So let's see. I had a few other questions I wanted to ask you before we let you go.
Sure.
Let's see. To someone, we asked that about the website. We talked about hemp in general. Okay. And Elixinol, one of the things that also brought me to your product line is that you guys are organic. And what brought you to making sure that not only that you have transparency, but that your product's organic? Because that's not always the case with hemp. And matter of fact, most often it isn't the case, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Well, certified organic is very important for many reasons, and we do that primarily because it's that consistency and quality that we want to maintain. So we do that for the main reason of the highest quality CBD we want delivered. And if there's other pesticides or if there's other things that are growing near it that can contaminate or lower the quality of it, that we just want to eliminate from the beginning.
Right. Now, let's say, okay, how long does it take to get into the system and show results? Now, we did talk about this briefly over the last 2 days, but I'd love to hear what your answer is, Chris.
So the system, depending on which delivery system, it'll get into, with the liposomes, it's going to get into your system within 10 to 15 minutes. You'll start to feel the effects. The others will take, somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes for it to get into your system. You'll start to feel the effects, that same day. And
right.
CBD processes out of your system every 6 to 12 hours. So you need to take it twice a day. And you don't build up a tolerance. It doesn't stay in your system. So, once you reach that optimum level that works for you, then you won't have to worry about increasing the dosage or the serving size.
Yeah, and it took me, I'd say, probably about 3 weeks of experimenting around. But even Dr. Blair told us that the Elixinol little capsules that we have here, I'm terrible with this. There we go. That you can open them if you want. So if you want a faster response time, I use this in the evening. God, why am I so horrible with this? I use this in the evening, and then I have the pen, but this one's not open yet. The one that's open, I keep by my coffee pot because I do it when I'm making coffee. And then I do a pen in the morning. And then that's a good combination, right?
Yeah, that's a great way to go. The only other thing to do would be to add the topical. You've got all your bases covered. Yeah,
and I experimented with this a little bit, and it's not that I didn't like it. This is just if in the midday, I'll try this, I'll add this. But for the most part, I'm just doing the two. I'm just doing the morning and the evening, and that seems to work the best.
The tincture that you held up is the exact same thing that's inside your capsules. So it's just one or the other. Which one you're going to take, right?
Oh, the tincture.
That's the light. Yes, the tincture.
Yeah. Now, Someone said, what do you recommend for spasticity? Now, I have spasticity, and I would recommend you try CBD. I don't know if you have a different thought, pretty much the way you said, in the morning and once in the evening. Would you have a different thought about it?
That's standard serving sizes. And then, if you're having a flare up, if you're having, something, that you're experiencing in the moment, you can just take some more liposome. You can't take too many. You can't take too much. So, if, some people just add it, throughout the day as needed.
Now, we heard the sad news yesterday that in Canada, it's a no-go right now, right?
Yeah, right now we can't ship to Canada. We're working really hard with the Canadian government and several distributors over there to get that. There's hope that that'll happen soon, but right now we can't ship it to Canada. That ended about 6 months ago.
So someone said they heard you shouldn't heat it and do not put it in tea. Do you know anything about that, Chris?
So CBD itself is a low temperature boiling point. You don't want to get it above 250 to 280 degrees Fahrenheit. So you wouldn't want to boil it, but you can add it to tea. You can add it to coffee. That's fine. It's just you wouldn't want to boil it for sure, because you can vape it. So people do heat it up quite frequently, and a lot of that. Reason people talk about not wanting to heat it up is because they'll put it in to certain vape contraptions or other cannabis inhalation devices that heat it up too hot, and then you burn it, and then you don't get the effects.
Oh, okay. Now, what about but in food? Because I noticed you guys have dog treats and stuff, so it's got to be effective. So can you cook with it?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people put it into their own drinks. A lot of people put it into their edibles. Again, it's just you can't heat it above the 250 to 280 degrees because it does have a lower boiling point. So, because when you bake products, those typically you're baking like 310 to 350. So you wouldn't want to bake your own products with it. But if you were going to just add it to hot water or hot liquid, the edibles themselves, they just add that to the batter and they don't get it above that temperature when they're cooking.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go through and see if we have any more burning questions. How long? We already did that. Oh, available in Canada. We talked about, but it's available. You guys ship everywhere else, but Canada.
Yeah,
is that correct?
We ship to 27 different countries right now, and all over the United States.
That's pretty powerful. Let me see. Go ahead. You can keep going.
Yeah, well, the 27 other countries, and growing every day. Europe is growing quickly. Japan, Latin America. We're helping the governments down in Latin America with their laws and really working with them to get more of our product available down there.
That's awesome. Well, I think that we've pretty much answered every question. Let me just check and see if I have any extra questions for you. I think we've covered everything that I have on my list, Chris, unless there's some other things that you'd like to share with people that maybe I didn't ask you.
Well, the only thing that I'd love to make sure that everybody knows is that CBD is something that is easy to add to your normal everyday life that can help you upgrade how you feel, help you recover, help you think faster, help you feel better. And it's really, something that a stigma in the world around cannabis has unfortunately slowed the acceptance of it. And I just hope everybody will take the opportunity to try it and really use it to enhance their lives.
And will there be a way for people to get updated in the Canadian area if it becomes approved?
Yeah,
should they just
absolutely.
check back?
Just stay on top of our website, and we'll be updating our website immediately when that happens.
And are you hopeful that it will happen?
Oh, absolutely. It'll happen this year for sure.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. I love that optimism. Well, Chris, I want to thank you so much, and I want to thank the whole Elixinol team. I've learned so much. Really, I could have each of you on for a whole week, especially Dr. Blair. He was so.
He's great. I'm getting to spend a lot of time with him in New York, and it's great to talk to him.
Well, enjoy yourself. Did you say, does vaping reduce the effectiveness of CBD? Is another last minute question.
It does not. It does not. It's only if you heat it too hot. So it's actually very effective to have it come in through your lungs that way. I do recommend using a CBD that way as well.
I think Dr. Blair was actually vaping during our interview.
That's his favorite way to use it.
Yeah, so he was. Yeah, I thought that was the case. Well, Chris, I guess I'll be seeing you soon at Expo West. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, we'll see you soon for sure.
Yeah.
And at Paleo FX.
Yep, and at the Bam Van, actually, they're working on it right now as we speak, just a stone's throw away. The ceiling was put in today, and the walls are being put in, and the floor will be Monday. Yeah, so you're going to see it. I will have it with me to show you at Expo West. It's not. You'll be the first.
A CBD shop. Is there going to be like a CBD vending machine?
Well, I would love that. If you guys want to put a CBD vending machine in there, I say yes. We can make room for that. All right. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. And for anyone that wants to get, we have a PDF that Elixinol put together for everyone, and we can send it to you via email. What you need to do is you need to email v@paleobosslady.com. That's v@paleobosslady.com. Please put in the subject, I consent to be signed up. And then in the body, put to the Elixinol and Paleo Boss Lady newsletter. Now, if for some reason that's too much for you to remember and you get confused, just email me at v@paleobosslady.com and I'll send you back an email with all the details. There's also a discount code, BOSS10, that will give you a discount at Elixinol if you'd like to place an order. And that's all I have. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Appreciate it. Have a safe trip. Bye, Chris. Bye.